Today, we're going to, and can we close the computers, please? It's a respect thing. Thank you. All right. We're going to do two shapes. One is a cylinder and one is a sphere. A sphere is like a basketball, all right, or baseball. A cylinder is kind of like a Coke can. Are we imagining this? Do we know what our shapes are? Those are the two that we're going to do. V stands for volume. Volume would be like if you're filling something up. Like the volume of a Coke can is like how much soda it holds. So how much space there is inside. SA is surface area. That's like if you were wrapping a Christmas present. That's like how much wrapping paper you would need to go around the object. Does this make sense? Like the area around the outside? Okay. LA is called lateral area. So if you have your cylinder, the lateral area is just this part around the outs, like the edges. It doesn't include the top and the bottom. All right, so the lateral area is just around the outside, and then the total surface area includes the top and bottom, like the top and bottom of the Coke can. Basically, you're just going to use those formulas. You don't have to memorize them. I have formula sheets here for you. Okay, got them all laminated. We don't need to do every single one on here. We just need to do enough for you to understand it. But you're going to use the formula, plug in your calculator, right? So looking at this first one, is it a sphere or a cylinder? What shape have we got? Sphere, cool. So we're going to look at this one right here. You don't have to memorize it. You're going to get a formula sheet. Volume, it is 4/3, and I'm just literally reading it from the sheet right here. 4/3. Oh, do you know what this is? Pi. Tomorrow is Pi Day, by the way, 3/14. Pi is about 3.14. So tomorrow is Pi Day. So this is interesting. We're doing this today. So 4/3 pi r, which r means radius. That's this distance right here, which the problem tells me is 4. And then to the third power. And we are simply going to put later. All right. Share the screen so that the calculator part shows up on the recording. Right. So everybody look it so that you know how to get your answer correctly. It was 4/3. Now it says pi. Here is the easiest way to type pi. Are you ready? P-I. If you just type the letters P-I, it will show up. Do you see how I did that? 4.2. No, it was, what else is on our paper? 4/3 pi, and then what comes after that? R, which was 4 to the third power. There, that's our answer. What does that say? It says 268.1. I'm rounding. 268.1. And hold on a second, because we need to talk about what the units are for that. Let me just answer the door real quick. Whenever you do a volume that is 3-dimensional, so do you see how this says centimeters? It's going to be centimeters cubed, which means to the third. Volume is 3-dimensional. It's a 3-dimensional space. All right. Now we're going to do surface area. We're going to look right here at this formula. You don't have to memorize it. You just have to find it. Surface area. So it is 4 pi, and then it says r squared. Well, what was r in this problem? 4. So 4 squared. And I'm going to share my screen. Type that in the calculator. It won't calculate it right if you don't put the parentheses. It won't multiply it correctly. I guess the other thing you could do is put like times, like that little dot there, but I think this is easier, so that's just how I do it. So let's see. It is 4 pi and then 4 squared. All right. So that says, if you're in the back and you can't see it, 201.1. And again, I'm rounding. So 201.1. So 201.1. And an area is 2-dimensional. So volume is 3, area is 2. So it's going to be centimeters squared. Centimeters with a little 2 on it. Let's try another sphere, and then we'll do a cylinder. So let's look at number 3. Now, do you see how the 12 is the whole way across? Okay, we need just the radius. Do you know what it's called if it's the whole way across? It's not a radius. It begins with a D. Diameter. Good job. So if the whole way across is 12, what's our radius? We just want half of that. 6. Good. So radius is 6, and we're just going to practice it again. So find your volume formula. It's right here. 4/3 pi times the radius, which is 6 cubed. Before I go to the calculator, I'm just going to go ahead and set up the other one. It would be 4 pi times 6 squared. And I'm going to just put those in the calculator. So you find the formula that you want, you type it in. I'm not going to share it again. It won't show up on the recording, but that's okay. I think you guys know how to use a calculator. All right, so 4/3 pi times 6 cubed. That is, if you're in the back, 904.8. So volume is 904.8. And then I'm going to go back and change it to surface area. Just keep paying attention. Yes, and I just didn't get to that. You're ahead of me. Good job. And then surface area is 452.4. Again, I'm rounding. 452.4. And then for your units, this time it was feet, but for volume, it's going to be feet to the third, feet cubed. Did you go with Mr. Robin? Or did you run into him? Yeah. Okay.
He wanted me to tell you to text me, but he wanted me to tell you to can you unlock my text?
Yes, I will do that right now.
And I text you.
And what?
I text you.
Let me finish the problem I'm working on with everybody, and then I will unlock your test, okay? All right, so volume is cubed. What am I going to put for surface area? It would be feet squared. Good, to the second. So let's go back and do question 2. We're going to do one that's a cylinder. So volume, lateral area, and then the full surface area that includes the top and the bottom. All right, so let's go ahead and just find the formula we want and plug in. So for the cylinder, it is pi for your volume, pi r squared. What is r for the problem that we're doing? 6, so 6 squared, and then times the height, which is 5. So it'll look like that. I'm going to set them all up, and then we'll go to the calculator because I don't want to keep going back and forth. All right, lateral area. I have to keep moving because I'm really zoomed in now. Lateral area. Do you see that one right there? All you have to do is find it. 2 pi RH. So we're going to put 2 pi and then times what? What is R? It's 6. Shh. And then H is 5. And then the total surface area, again, you don't have to memorize it. You just have to go back and find the formula. 2 pi r squared. That's the top and the bottom. Do you see how this part matches? Like that's the same? Like, you see how it's the same thing? That's this lateral area, the part around the outside. All right, so 2 pi r squared, 2 pi times 6 squared, plus 2 pi times r times h. Do you guys think you could type that in the calculator? I don't want to bore you to tears just watching me type stuff. Do you know what I'm saying? How did we type pi? P. Perfect. You all listened to me. We don't need to do that again. All right. Do we think we've got it? We'll try a few on the back. You find the formula that you want. You plug the numbers in. Okay. So let's try a couple of these. This is kind of backwards. They sort of give you the answer, and you have to go back and find the question. So, yeah. Did you put a pass in? Okay. Thank you. All right. So this is volume, and what shape do we have? Cylinder or sphere? Cylinder. And I'm going to give you all one of these, okay? But for right now, let me just put this underneath the projector. I'm going to find my cylinder, which is right here, and I want volume. So it's pi r squared h. Do you see where I got that there? Bless you. All right? So we've got pi r squared h equals 475. Our volume is 475. That's on the back. I felt like we did enough on the front. We don't need to do every single one. Feel like you guys got it. I mean, all you do is find the formula, plug numbers in. All right, now we have one of those. We have the height. Height is how much? 18. Now here's the thing. When I go to type it in the calculator, it's not going to work if I type R. What letter do I have to type? X. So it's going to be pi times x squared. Height is 18. And they told us our volume is 475. So let me show you what this will look like, and we'll get our answer. So instead of having the radius and the height and getting the volume, they gave us the volume, and we're kind of having to work backwards a little bit. All right, but everybody just watch. Please watch me type this one because this one's a little different. So I'm going to come over here and I'm going to type pi, pi, x squared times 18 and then equals, and what was it? 475. And then I'm going to come over here and click right there. And our answer is, what would that round to? 2.9. If it said a whole number, it would be 3, but we'll say 2.9. Cool, that's it. You set it up, you type it in. So our radius is 2.9. Cool, let's try another one. Is this one a cylinder or a sphere? Sphere, and they gave us surface area. Okay, so just reading is important. So here's our formula for sphere. Surface area is 4 pi r squared. I just found it from the paper, right? So 4 pi r squared equals, what is it, 168. Now again, when I type this, instead of r, I'm going to have to type x. Cool. All right, everybody just watch. I'll type it in, and then I think we'll be good. I don't know that we'll need to do another one of those. Maybe we'll just do the one at the bottom. All right, I'm going to just kind of alter this one because I already have it typed in there. 4 pi x squared. I don't need this 18. And what did it equal? 168? 168. I'm going to click over here. And our radius is 3.7. Good. That's what that's going to round to. 3.7. So again, basically you're finding the formula that you need and then putting it in the calculator. Cool? All right, let's do the one at the bottom. It says find the surface area and the volume of this object. I'm going to have to because that's all fit on there. All right, stick with me. We'll do one more. All right, is this a cylinder or a sphere? Do you have your phone out? Because I can see that. It's kind of both, right? You have this cylinder in the middle, and then you have half of a sphere here that's called a hemisphere, and then the other half of the sphere on the other side. All right, so let's do volume first. It wants volume and surface area, so let's do volume first. I don't know why it's not coming up. While I'm waiting for this to come up, can you flip over and find the volume of a sphere? Can you flip over and find that volume for a sphere? 4/3 pi to the third. Good job. Come on, projector. There we go. All right, so it's going to be 4/3 pi r to the third. What is r? What is our radius? It's 4. Good. Plus, and then we're going to do the cylinder. So we're doing a sphere plus a cylinder. Yes. Is that a V? Yes, V for volume. It said to find surface area and volume. I'm just doing volume first. So V for volume. All right, so now we're going to find our volume of a cylinder. If you flip your paper back over, find your volume for a cylinder. Pi r squared, which r is still 4. H, which what's our height? 13. Can we put that away? Thanks. And then you would put that in the calculator. All together. I'm going to type it in. Just give me a second. Only one person got too much going on. All right, so it's 4/3 pi. One more time. How do I type pi? Yeah. Okay. 4/3 pi and then 4 to the third plus pi. Oops. 4 squared times 13. And there's our answer, 921.5. Now, units. Here it says inches, but for a volume, it's going to be inches cubed, or to the third is what that means. All right, then we're going to do surface area. So all you have to do is find your formulas and plug in. So let's do the sphere first. This is half of the sphere. Again, it's called a hemisphere. And then this is the other half of the sphere. So we have one whole sphere. So flip over and find your surface area for a sphere. Good. 4 pi r squared. And r is still 4. We're still doing the same problem. Plus, now here's where this gets a tiny bit tricky. For the surface area for the cylinder, you only need around the middle. You don't need the top and the bottom because it's covered up by the sphere. Do you see what I'm saying? All you need is this middle part. So when you look at your cylinder formulas, that would be lateral area. You just need around the outside of like the Coke can, if you want to think of it that way. So it's going to be just 2 pi RH. So plus 2 pi, what was R? 4, and then H, 13. All right, stick with me through one more. I'm going to type it in all at the same time. All right, so 4 pi, 4 squared, and then plus 2 pi times 4 times 13. So there we go, 527.8. And that is area, so it's going to be inches squared. Area is squared, volume is cubed.